Hello, this is Michael Eure, and I'd like to invite you to the Michael Eure Show, featuring student hosts and very special guests talking about a variety of interesting topics. You can find us on the Eagle Stream YouTube channel.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the Michael Eure Show. Today, we are very, very lucky, fortunate, whatever we want to call it, to have Miss Paula Norris. She is one of these people that can cook up something, and I've seen her do it. So I'm going to let her introduce herself, and then we're going to talk about some of the things she does to help people prepare fast, tasty, and just some wonderful food. So Paula, tell us a little bit about yourself, and how did you get into this business of showing people about healthy eating?
Mike, thank you for inviting me, first of all. It's a pleasure to be here with you. And I never thought that cooking could be a job. So cooking is actually my hobby. And then I found this job that I actually do what I love the most, is helping people and helping them to eat healthier, make better choices when it comes to food. And the recipes that I usually teach, they are very budget friendly, easy to make. So it's a combination of the passion of what I always had, and the helping people. So that is what motivates me and brought me to do this work.
And you do a lot of things with colleges and universities. Are you based at NC State, or are you just in another totally different world?
Yes, so we are. I work for the extension, NC Cooperative Extension, which is the way I explain to the people is basically NC State outside of campus, right? So is NC State available to the community. So we bring research-based knowledge to the community. And this program in particular, which is expanded food and nutrition education program, it does exactly that. So we bring research that NC State have done around food, saving money around food, food safety, grocery shopping. We bring all this knowledge that's being backed up by research. We bring this to regular folks, right? Throughout. So this program is throughout North Carolina. I am based in Wake County.
So if people really wanted to, and I know that we talked a little earlier that you do some food demonstrations, and I think that you can talk a little bit about that, unless you want to talk more about this expanded food and nutrition education program. How do people I know we're in a pandemic, but if people wanted you to do, for example, a virtual cooking class, could you do that?
Yes, absolutely. So normally, prior COVID, we and this is how we met. I used to go to very different communities throughout Wake County, and like gather a group of family, and then we learn concepts about healthy eating, and then we develop a recipe and cook it together and try it together. Of course, things change with the 2020 pandemic. So now we are continue reaching out to the people, bringing out this knowledge again to them. And of course, now we're doing it through virtual, right? So we use different platforms to do that. One of them is I do some Facebook Live. So you can become my friend on Facebook. This is my Facebook page, and I will, very so often I go and do like a recipe or do some tips for saving money on a grocery store, or some tips for how to proper cook your steak or your chicken. So everything around food safety, food, and food management. And we also do private groups. So we do classes, so you have to register for these classes. And you can contact me if you, we're having some classes to be open soon, and it's gonna be all about the holidays, right? How you can keep a healthy weight throughout the holidays, which is not that easy. And so you can still eating your comfort foods, your regular, food that you really enjoy, but without gaining weight, because we are going to use better ingredients to make, or sometimes not using the same ingredients, just changing the way, instead of deep fry, we're going to pan fry. Instead of cooking in a different way, so just by changing the way you prepare the food makes a big difference. How your body, how much more or less calories you intake. So we have this class coming up, and that's going to be through Zoom. So if you or your family are interested in participating, contact me and I will register you. The classes are free. The only qualifications that you need to participate is that either someone in your family is like a WIC recipient or Medicaid recipient, or your child is free or reduced lunch in school. Or, if you are going through, I know the unemployment is super high right now. And if you are like, hey, I don't participate in any of these programs, but at the moment, I really need help, how planning the meals and to be healthier, to save money because I am unemployed. So we will sign you up for the classes too. So we're here to help the community, but we're especially here to help the ones that are less fortunate.
So tell us a little bit, well, when we were at Washington Terrace, when you did that workshop, which I was very fortunate to attend, because Dietrich Clark is somebody that I've known for a long time. So I volunteered there for Weight Tech. And I went to the class to see if it would be something useful for my students, which it was. In fact, the guy in the middle with the hat, he is a Weight Tech student. And I think that there's a few people at Washington Terrace that go to Weight Tech. But tell us about that episode where we did the spinach, because people talked about that, and you talked about the pot liquor and all that, and it wasn't healthy. But you cooked some spinach up in like 15 minutes. Tell us how you did that with olive oil.
Yeah, was actually kale, right?
Collard greens.
Yeah, collard greens. Yeah. So that again, what I was telling you earlier, sometimes you don't have to change the ingredients. Is all you have to do is change how you prepare your recipe in order to be healthier. So that recipe, it was, I know collard greens is a South thing, right? And I grew up eating collard greens too. So what I did is modify how I prepare the collard greens. Bless our heart of our grandmothers, they used to do the collard greens all day, put it on the stove, and then they add the pig fat and the bacon and all that, which completely kill the nutrients of the collard greens. So collard greens is an excellent vegetable because it's a dark green vegetable, so therefore contains a ton of nutrients that our body needs every day. But if you do that process of cooking it all day, it will definitely spoil all those good nutrients, especially when you add all the fat, and all the other ingredients that you add to those collard greens is going to completely devalue what you could have. So I do a very simple, I'll be glad to do a Facebook Live soon showing you how to make your collard greens, and which is almost like instantly. And you will get all the ingredients and all the nutrients that the collard greens has to offer. So again, it's just about how you prepare, not necessarily you need to change, because my goal here is not to make you, you're gonna have to completely scratch your culture and the way you always ate, and we're gonna have to change now. You're gonna have to eat completely ingredients that you are unfamiliar with. No, that is not my goal. It's just like trick a little bit how you prepare your ingredients that you are already familiar with, but just the way you prepare sometimes make a big difference.
Another thing that you did is you involved the children, so it was intergenerational. So give us some tips about how to involve little kids in helping prepare food.
Yeah, so that is one main thing, right? That when kids, parents assume that they don't want to eat this or that, because sometimes the parent was raised that way and they don't like that as particular ingredient, like a vegetable or fruit. So like right here, you have a child preparing Brussels sprout, which is like a vegetable that many adults say that it's too healthy and I'm not gonna eat it. So what I do, and it works every time when I teach parents, is that you have to involve your child on the food preparation. That is the main thing. So you never assume that the child even doesn't like either a vegetable or fruit. Let the child decide it if he likes or she likes or not. So involving your children on the food preparation is one of the main key. And there are several things that a child can do when you prepare a meal. A child can help you wash the vegetables. He can help you chop the vegetables. He can help you stir whatever you're making. And children, they're like, I compare them like when they do draw you a picture, right? So when they go to school or when they just start learning how to use a crayon, and yeah, the picture looks horrible, but what do you tell your child? Oh, it looks beautiful. And you stick on your refrigerator and you're all proud of it. So that same concept we need to do with our children when it comes to food, right? To create that good relationship with food and just let them participate it. So once they like, in my family, I always like to make like a homemade pizza and let the kids play with the ingredients, with the toppings. Now, what are you going to put on the topping? And believe it or not, they usually choose like a variety of things that you never thought a child was going to eat before. And because he's so proud of what he made, they will end up eating. So don't assume that your child is not going to like this or that because you didn't like it or you never try it. Just offer a variety of fruits and vegetables, especially to your child constantly.
And another thing that you did is you integrated exercise. And we also did some little fun quizzes. We can't do all of that right now. But tell us a little bit about how one can go shopping and pick out healthy juices instead of sodas, and what kind of exercises can be incorporated maybe with little kids or even seniors or regular middle-aged adults. After you cook and get ready to eat, do some exercise, right?
Yes, yes. So the program that I teach is Eat Smart Move More is the theme, right? So you have to always incorporate physical, diet, nutrition and physical activity goes side by side. Right? Whatever you eat, you have to burn, and how you burn is through exercise. So, and when I talk about exercise, you don't necessarily need to run and go get a membership in the gym. There is several things that you can do at the comfort of your home, and the classes I always show, these very simple but effective exercise that you can do on your kitchen counter, just push-ups on your kitchen countertop, and just do some squats on your kitchen chair. Nothing prohibits you to do that. So when goes to the grocery shopping with your children, try to teach your children at a very young age how to read the labels, the food labels. So that is a very, very important. And at the same time, when you are doing this, you're teaching your child a good concept about food. You are also, enforcing what they learn in school, which is math and reading. So teaching them. So what I do is like very simple and works. Instead of make it so complicated and too much information, do one item at a time. So for instance, you're gonna go shop for cereal, and you get to the grocery store and your kids go pick up the cereal that you want. So what I tell my kids is like, you can pick whatever you want, which cereal you want. However, it needs to be less than 9 grams of sugar per serving. So you can tell, like, I still remember my son. Now he's older, but when he was little and I was teaching him this concept, he'll go and see like the cute cartoon boxes with the cereal, and then he grabs it, and then he goes right to the nutrition facts, right? And then he goes, oh, I know my mom is not going to buy that because it has 10 or 11 grams of sugar, because he had that concept, no more than 9 grams of sugar. So the same thing, you can teach your child for other, for juices, and teach them about that they can understand first what goes in your body, what is going in, before they make the option. So always choose low sugar, low salt. Those are very simple strategies that you can teach your child at a very young age, while they help you shopping in the grocery store. And take them to the vegetable aisle or fruit aisle, and let them pick a different vegetable. Sometimes that's how they become curious about it. Wow, look at this pepper, and it has 3 different colors, or different shaped tomato, or something that excites, that brings the excitement around food. Is always a good strategy to help your child make better choices.
And you talked about fruits right then. So tell us a little bit about stuff that maybe we don't think about doing with fruits, and incorporating it into desserts or replacements. And can they be integrated into breakfast in other ways than cereal?
Absolutely, yes. So I always tell my participants in my classes that we always get confused about the serving size on cereal, right? So, and but we also want to see our cereal bowl full. So the best way for you to fill your cereal bowl in the morning is by adding a little bit of cereal in the bottom and fill on the top with fresh fruits. Right, berries are excellent fruit for the morning. Banana is an excellent fruit for the morning, and also smoothie. right? So you can buy frozen fruit, or you can buy the fruit like North Carolina has a variety of berries in spring and summer, but then they become very expensive during the winter times, because then they have to come from overseas or from California. So just take advantage when North Carolina is harvesting strawberries and blueberries and all the berries. Buy in bulk, clean, wash them, you can, and freeze them. And you can freeze them like just in a small Ziploc, so you have just enough to in the morning add into your smoothie, and add some, and play with your smoothie. There's so many things that you can do. Adding a handful of spinach, believe me, it will not change the taste at all. Spinach is a very has a lot of things that you can do with a spinach, but that doesn't necessarily change the taste of what you're doing. So you add, a handful of spinach, a half a banana, a half cup of blueberries, and there you go. You have a super packed with the nutrients to nurture your body in the morning, instead of eating just a donut or something that doesn't really bring you what your body is striving for.
And for the audience, you can ask any questions in the chat. Also, I'm just asking all the stuff I'm liking, but y'all can add in, please. And to tell your friends that might have missed this, that it'll be available on YouTube, and they can just type in the Michael Eure Show and it'll come up. Finally, for me right now, you did some hot and spicy stuff. I like hot and spicy. And I mean, burritos can be hot and spicy. Tell us about some of those wonderful, I'm going to call them ethnic group things like burritos, or is it possible to make chicken that's healthy, or tell me.
Absolutely. So I love to play with the spices. So because we are in a society that we eat too much salt, and salt is not good for you, right? So salt will raise your blood pressure, and therefore all kind of complications. So how you make your food taste better is by playing with the spices. So peppers and different kind of peppers, you can add less or more, depends on your taste. Also herbs, right? So oregano, rosemary, and there's an endless of different type of herbs that you can, and here we have such a great spring and summer and fall, so you can grow. If you live in an apartment and you don't have that much room, you can grow herbs on your porch on a little container, and that will be a great addition to your food, and you're going to prevent using too much salt, because that is one of the mistakes that people think, that is salt is what's going to give flavor to the food, but not really. Is spices and like a garlic, ginger, and all other spices. That's what's going to give the flavor to your food, so you can save on your salt intake. So play with the spices. And one of my things, so you're talking about ethnic foods, one of my things that I like to do is go to the restaurants, see what the ingredients that they use, and then when I come home, I try to mimic the same dish that I ate. Like for instance, I love Indian food. Right, I love the smell of the curry and all the coconut milk and all that. I love that, but it's too spicy for me at the restaurants. So I can eat at the restaurant. So what I do, I cook it at home, and I use the same spices. So you should. I know some of the spices are very expensive if you buy on the regular grocery stores. So I buy my spices on ethnic stores. So you can go to, there's several neighborhoods where they have culture-based grocery stores. So just go to these grocery stores and you can buy, a bigger amount of spices that are otherwise in a regular grocery store you pay way more. So, and that's a great way for you to also, discover different foods and different tastes when you go to those cultural based grocery stores. And we have plenty in our area.
Okay. Now, talking about cost, are those inexpensive, and what about going to stores that are discounted stores for people to get spices, or would you recommend fresh always, if they
Um,
can? Of course, fresh is better.
yeah. Now, so spice like herbs, they do not have to be fresh. They can be dry, and they have, of course, when you're using dry, you may have to use a little bit more than when you use fresh. But and herbs take a long time to expire. So if you buy in a discount store, so you can always look at the expiration date in there to see when, if that food is still good or not. And you just make sure that the container is not open or is not by any means damaged, like food has been contaminated. So that's but as far as quality, you should find, if the container is closed and the expiration date is still good, you should find the same quality as buying a regular grocery store.
So I know we're winding down, but give us a couple of examples of some very healthy, maybe spices or peppers or fruits while people are out
Yeah,
shopping. Okay.
yeah. So again, I don't know about y'all, but my taste changed as I get older. My taste changed, right? So I can handle a little bit more pepper, and I like to play with the different spices. So one spice that I just recently I acquired a taste for is ginger. Right, so you buy the ginger, the root of the ginger. They also sell them dry, but I like the fresh. And you can, it is very inexpensive. You know,
Okay. Because I have some, so I know it's inexpensive. You can make
yeah,
that ginger tea as
yeah.
well. Yeah.
And you can add in so many things, right, on your chicken, and believe it or not, you can add on your smoothie, and it tastes very good because it gives that, that spiciness to the smoothie. So you can add a little bit of ginger chopped and blended on your smoothie, and gives a very interesting flavor to it.
Well, I'm going to let you close it a little bit, but I'm going to ask you about um, health and nutrition. We talked about that together, and you did some interesting things where we experimented with the germs, that we could see how many germs we had picked up in our hands. Can you talk a little bit about how people can be careful with that too?
Absolutely. So again, because we are a research-based program, we work from the university, and we have a wonderful team at NC State University. That's all they do. They play with germs all day and find ways how we can eliminate them, right? So preparing food at home is can be dangerous, because sometimes we don't take the precautions that the restaurants take. So we take it for granted, right? And we don't necessarily wash our hands properly, or the hands of our children before they eat. Or our mothers and fathers are going to prepare food, and sometimes they don't wash their hands before preparing food. And also, cross-contamination is a big factor that happens in our homes. And by cross-contamination, I mean you use the same place where you cut your chicken, raw chicken. You use that same container or that same cutting board to prepare your vegetable, your salad. So that juice left from the chicken bacteria can grow in there, and then you eat that salad that you prepare together. That so you can introduce bacteria to your guts, and it's going to make you very sick. So we need to be very cautious when preparing food in our home, and we need to practice a very standard but high hygiene of especially washing hands and sanitizing the surfaces where we prepare our food. And another tool that every family should have at home is a thermometer. So the thermometer will indicate it if the food is a temperature is high enough that there will be no more bacteria in there, because bacteria only can live in a certain temperature, right? Especially the bacteria that are common found in the food, like Salmonella and E. coli. These bacteria will die as the heat goes up. And also they will die with acids like bleach and the soap. So that's why it's important to wash our hands with soap and disinfect the areas that we prepare food with bleach, and use the thermometer to test the heat of the meat that we are cooking. Those are very simple, but the 3 steps that we have to ensure we are offering our family safe food.
Paula, someone in the audience wants to know, how do they get in contact with you? Which was going to be my closing thing for you. Give us some contact, maybe more than one way to contact you.
Absolutely. So I'm going to type here my email address.
And then we'll get Sarah to put it up on the screen.
Yeah, I'm just got that for Sarah. And I also, so again, Sarah can put it back my Facebook page. So become friends with me, and then you can send me private message through my Facebook. And I promise I don't promise to respond them like right away, but I will get it back to you, and I'll be very happy to do so. So either if you want to sign up for classes, or you want any tips for how to prepare food and how to save money in a grocery store, there are several things that we strive to help families do it.
And if people contact you, will you send out some kind of information, like when classes are coming up or what people need to do to join them, if they just don't know what they want to do, but you got things coming up?
Absolutely, yes. So, and Sarah, you can also put our website. There you will find information, such as recipes, tips how to save in a grocery store, tips for exercise. So you can go on our website and find very trustworthy information that can help you, especially now that you are home, that you are cooking more, and that will give you some ideas for new recipes and how to teach your children to eat better.
Thank you, Sarah. Not Sarah. I need to say congratulations to Sarah, because she just got married on October 17th.
Yes.
And she is back here working this technology. We appreciate her so much, and congratulations. But Paula, I thank you, and hopefully we'll have you come back again, and maybe we can get you together with some of our students and do some workshops. Okay.
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
to the audience.
So, just for the last, I am part of the Wake County Food Relief. So at this time, when many families are having so much difficulty putting food on their table, so right there's some resources where you can find either free food or discounted, where you can get ready-to-eat meals, and a list of food hubs that are nearby you. So please go to the site and see how we can help you go through these tough times.
So is there a sign up process for that, or do they just need to show up?
No, there is not at the moment. There's no signing in. You just go and go on our website and see which days, because some of those hobbies, they're not open every day. So you can see which days they're open, and you can see the hours and how you get the food that you need. And so just go to the website, and you most likely all your answers, or you'll find all the answers there for how to access food more for your family during the pandemic.
Well, again, I thank you, and to the audience, we'll see you on the first and third Thursday every month from 12 until 12:30, and we love it. And see, Josie George said it went by so quickly, but she said thanks for the great tips, especially the sanitary information.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity, and I hope we connect with everybody.
When the pandemic is over, we definitely want you to come and do some things. But while we're in this virtual environment, we might as well, share information virtually. So I thank you for your willingness to share with Wake Tech faculty, staff, students, and the community. And meanwhile, everybody have a great day. And since it's Thursday, I always do tip-off Thursdays, and that's enjoy your weekend. You got to still find a way to enjoy yourself. Thank you. You got any closing words, Paula?
Again, so just let's get connected and let's help each other through this tough time. We're all going through together. So let's get together.